Hi there, I'm Dave Litton and I'm the creator behind my PMP primer. Now if you've got a few moments to spare and watch this video, I'd like to explain to you why I think it's important that you should consider investing in it and the danger if you don't. Let me explain first of all, in this crazy worldwide mess we all seem to be in at the moment, that change is becoming ever more important. If organisations need to keep ahead, they need to keep ahead of the curve to survive. So change is happening more and more frequently for all of us in all of our organisations. And guess what? Projects are the mechanisms by which we manage change. Therefore, project management is becoming ever more important in these current times. It's once said that change, the more things change, the more things stay the same. So it's no surprise that organisations are putting more and more emphasis on those folks who can help manage and bring about change. And the project manager, of course, is centre stage. And it's recognised now that the project manager needs a whole slew of skills and expertise areas. And one of the best ways to get recognition for such is the Project Management Professional Exam. This is a certification that will hold you in high esteem, because of course it too is held in high esteem throughout many industries and across 120 countries. The downside is, of course, that this particular exam is difficult to attain. It's 4 hours in length, which that alone requires a fair amount of endurance, but it has 200 questions in it, only of which 175 are actually marked. You don't know which 175 it is, of course, and out of those you need to get 106 right in order to have the PMP letters put after your name. So I've developed a simple 3-step system. Step 1, you watch a series of videos, that's you and me, one-on-one training. At the end of each module, I'd give you a set of exercises, not like the exam questions, but exercises to help you to reinforce your learning. Step 3 is actually carrying out exam practice. I've given you a whole range from simple to hard, real-world, live exam questions plus their answers. So my primer explains in each module what exactly it is you need to study. It gives it to you step by step in easy bite-sized chunks so you can absorb the information. Each module shows you how to apply that particular part of the syllabus to real world, and of course also the application needed for the exam itself. Each module I explain why it's important to the bigger picture. Now you might already be familiar with the structure of the Project Management Body of Knowledge, or PMBOK as it's normally called. There are 5 process groups: initiating, planning, executing, monitoring and controlling, and closing. And these are cyclical. They might exist across the whole project, or if your project's in steps or phases, they would occur in each of those phases. So you need to understand exactly how that's used. Within each process group, there's processes. In total, 42 processes. And it's absolutely vital in the exam that you understand exactly how these interact with each other. Indeed, the exam questions are structured in an order. First batch will be initiating type questions, the second batch will be planning type questions, and so on. You have also 9 knowledge areas. Call those approaches if you will. For example, the risk knowledge area shows you exactly how and what and when you carry out risk management. You'll find that that occurs during the planning process group and monitoring and controlling. Another important thing you need to pass the exam is the use of PMP terminology. Get that wrong and you'll probably struggle. You need to learn how to apply the processes in a real-world project to have a chance of passing the exam. There's also formulas involved. Now, If you're not that good at math, or more likely don't particularly love math, who does, maybe, apart from mathematicians, don't worry, I'll be explaining how you can do this easily. There's three main areas. There's earned value analysis, in which there's 13 formulas. I've got some mental tricks that show you how you can memorize them easily. So the first thing you do when you walk in the exam room is you'll be able to write down on the spare paper you'll have exactly all of these formulas. The other two areas are 3-point estimates and communication channels, fairly straightforward. Also throughout the exam is your professional responsibility questions, and since 2011 these are peppered throughout the exam, so they're not held as a separate section as they used to be, but you'll find them intermingled with the other 5 process groups. Let me tell you why I think you should invest in my primer. Let's consider cost to start with. Now, if you're attending a standard course, and by that I mean a normal classroom event, the training costs can be quite significant on their own. But on top of that, you've got the cost of your travel and of accommodation, which often is not cheap. It depends on which part of the world you're running the exam in. Let's consider also the cost of failure if you don't pass. You'll need extra revision time and, of course, retake costs. Putting a positive spin on it, still thinking about money if you will, think about what it would mean to you as an individual to have PMP after your name. Think about the financial and career benefits this will bring to you. What about opportunities for promotion and advancement? You would be at the front of the queue when it comes to a choice between you and the other person. Don't forget that PMP, because it is widely recognised, becomes in effect your project management badge of proficiency. Let's talk about time benefits. Now, any traditional classroom course you may go on, you'd be foolish just to turn up on day one and expect a miracle in usually just the 5 days that they're held for. You'd want to put in at least 20 hours preparation before you attend the course. And then think about each day. It'll be a long day, probably working in the night as well. Revision time, learning different techniques, reading the PMP manual. Getting confidence in an exam takes time. And the sooner you act to start your studying and preparation, the sooner you'll get your accreditation. But put it another way, the sooner you act, the more time you will have to prepare. Let's talk about the benefits of work, and what I mean by that is work effort on your part. Now, we're all busy people running our private and business lives, and we have to fit this in around it. Just think about the project management body of knowledge. This is a 450-page document. I estimate around 180,000 words, and if you had the determination and stamina to read it from cover to cover, this would take you, I estimate, 40 hours of reading. Please don't try it. And the other thing, of course, is the project management body of knowledge doesn't contain all you need to know to pass the exam. What about the work effort of the training event itself? I've touched on that already. But think about having to stay in a hotel room, having done at least 10 hours study in the day, and then having to study further, probably up to 11 or 12 o'clock at night. You see, the advantage of my PMP primer is that you can download it and use it and apply it when you've got the time and effort. I reckon attending a training course you'll be putting in at least 18 hours a day, and on top of that, as I said, you've got the 4-hour exam often held at the end of the week's training. So let me tell you just finally what my PMP primer gives you. You'll get 21 video modules recorded by me, consisting of a significant set of PowerPoint slides, all dynamically presented in easy bite-sized chunks. Accompanying this, you'll get 12 workbooks, each one based on one of the video modules or several of the video modules, and contained in each are exercises. In total, you'll have 320 pages of study material. But that's not all. It's important also to make sure that you reinforce your learning. So I've built in a control loop, if you will. I've included 333, yes, you heard that right, fast track key learning point exercises. They check your understanding. So when you move to the next module, you've got the previous one as a certainty nailed down solid. Of course, there are two aspects to this: turning up at the exam and needing experience at passing exams. It may have been several years since you last sat an exam of this magnitude. And it takes discipline and it takes practice at passing exams. There are certain techniques and tricks, but the most important thing is knowing your subject matter. So I give you 340 PMP live exam questions and answers for you to practice. So you can hone not just your knowledge of PMP, but also your exam taking skills. So I suggest you do it now. Thank you for visiting my website. Scroll down and see exactly what you've got in the remainder of my website. I think you should invest now in my PMP primer. Scroll down and click the Add to Cart button, and we'll meet again on the other side. Look forward to that. Bye for now.